I have the boring presentation today, and that's the bookkeeping and accounting side, and that's all about numbers, right? I'm not going to talk about that, okay? I'm going to give you the reason why you need it, right? But I'm not going to go into the numbers and all that stuff about it. I just wanted to preface my presentation around that. But to give you a little background about myself, my name is John Crespo. I own CFD Services Inc. here in town, right off of Wilma Rudolph Boulevard on 2168 Wilma Rudolph Boulevard. I'm a one-stop shop for small business. And the reason why I say that is I've been in the financial industry for, that says 12, but it's more than 15 years. Started my career with Chase Bank as a banker, worked into the mortgage division. Then I started managing branches and dealt a lot with small business as a branch manager for Chase. When we moved to Tennessee in 2018, ran the branch for SunTrust on Music Row. Fun, right? That's all the music industry people down there. So I got exposure to that whole, I wasn't big into country music, but once I moved to Clarks, once I took over that branch, I love country music now. So I've always been exposed to small businesses, and that's where my passion started burning to help the small business community, because I realized that the need for small businesses is so great. There's resources out there that businesses can take advantage of, but a lot of small business owners don't know that, or they've heard of it, but just don't know where to go to get it, right? And I think that's the biggest piece on what's stopping the small business community from flourishing. So I said, I started consulting on the side. I took over the business department at Forterra. I was director of business development for them for several years to grow their business department. And my job was to really consult the small business community and get out there. I started consulting on the side, and it just grew to a point where I was like, you know what? I want to do this full time. So I started my business. And that's what we do. We do bookkeeping, we do payroll, taxes, a little bit of consulting in there. You got to consult in everything that you do. Whatever your job is, you should have a consultative approach to it. So we definitely include that. And we also do business lending in partnership with banks. So I don't do a bank lending, but I do business lending in partnership with banks. Brandy and I work a lot together when it comes to supporting the small business community and trying to get them funded. So that's what we do as far as CFD Services. It's a one-stop shop, a true one-stop shop that we're so proud of. And it's just something that it's based out of passion for the small business community, not out of trying to make money. But I want to start off talking about accounting and bookkeeping by asking you a question. What's your financial mindset around money? How do you view money, right? Because before you even start a business, before you even personally, but before you even start a business, you want to understand what is your mindset around money. Right? There's three types of mindsets that when it comes to money. You have the saver, you have the spender, and you have the investor. You have to ask yourself, where do I fall here? Where does my mind fall in these three categories, right? And how is that going to affect my journey as a business owner, right? Those are some tough questions, and believe it or not, it's tough questions that you have to ask yourself. Because being a business owner is not easy. You have to have thick skin and strong shoulders to be a business owner. If you don't have that, you're not going to succeed. So I'm sorry to burst anybody's bubble about the beauty of business owners that YouTube presents, right? But in the real world, there's work that goes into creating and managing and running a successful business. So ask yourself those three questions. What is my financial mindset? Am I a saver? Am I a spender? Or am I an investor? And how is that going to affect me in running a business? Am I going to be too scared to spend money to grow my business because I just want to save everything, right? Or am I gonna spend too much money in running my business so then I don't have anything left over if an emergency hits, right? That's most of us, that's most of us. Or am I gonna think about my business as an investment? Am I going to strategically place my money and spend my money in ways that's going to give me a return on what I spent? So how do you view money? And I'm just going to give you the definition real quick. It says a money mindset is an overriding attitude that you have about your finances. It drives how you make key financial decisions every day. and it can have a big impact on your ability to achieve your goals. It's so true, right? If you change your mindset about money, you tend to make better choices about how to overcome challenges. If I can say one thing, take this definition, write it down somewhere, and read it to yourself every day. Because you truly want to make that top of mind, right? This definition, you want to make sure it's top of mind. Take some notes, because we have a little game at the end of this, and the winner's going to get some pretty cool swag. In my opinion, it's cool swag. But you can only win once, but I'm going to have 3 questions for 3 different winners. And then another thing you want to think about in running a business is what's your unique value? How are you going to earn money? How are you going to compete? Right? Are you providing a unique value? So there's some categories here to think about when it comes to, really getting your business off the ground. Is how am I going to compete with the other businesses out there? Is there a market for me? And what am I providing that's setting myself apart? Right? Who's your ideal customer? Have you thought about that? How do you align with your target market? What is unique about your product or service? Do people know what you're trying to sell? Have you made it clear about what you're presenting, what product or service you're going to offer? Have you made it clear? Do people know what it is? Is it confusing? Right? And then have you tested out this value statement that you're providing? People are taking notes. We'll get this presentation out to you, so you don't have to worry about getting all the notes. We'll email it out to you. I'm gonna click the button.
3, 2, 1.
3, 2. I see
Can you
Chloe
go
still
back
right.
to the previous slide so I can see the picture?
To the previous slide?
Yeah. Hold on.
We're gonna, like I said, we're gonna mail this out too.
That's
Okay.
fine.
As long as I get the information, I'm good.
So another thing, this is where I come in, right? Cost of running a business, right? You gotta understand that running a business, there's a cost to it.
Mhm.
It's not just making money.
Yeah.
You're not just gonna open your door and all of a sudden you're flooded with sales and you're flooded with all this stuff. You're like, great, let's go on vacation. I'm gonna work off the beach. It's not gonna happen. It does not happen that way. You have to understand, what is the cost of running your business? And am I making enough revenue to cover that cost? There's an actual formula that you can use to understand what the cost of running your business is, right? So, hope you guys are following along. This is the formula. The cost of doing business equals non-reimbursable expenses, and all that means is how much money you have to spend out, business-related expenses that you're not paying yourself back for. It's not like you're giving the company money and then you're paying yourself back. It's just operating expenses for running your business. Then you add how much you want to pay yourself, right? And you divide it by the amount of billable days in the year. So that means how many days are you open? How many days are you providing your service the whole year, right? So if you figure that out, and I have an example down here just to give you some clarity around what it looks like. If you put a number to what it's gonna cost you to run your business and pay yourself, then you know what you gotta go for when you're out there hustling, right? When you're out there trying to get clients and sell a product. So here's an example. Cost of doing business, right? Well, actually, let's do it this way. This is a small retail shop, right? They have about $8,000 in expenses for the year. That's good, right? They want to pay themselves $40,000 a year. That's the salary that they want to get. And they're open 262 days out of the year, right? That's how many days that they have an opportunity to make money. So you have to figure yourself out, put it in the formula. They have to make at least $183.20 a day to cover their expenses and pay themselves a $40,000 salary, all right? They have to sell at least $183.20 a day. That gives you something to work towards, right? So when you're out there finding an accounting partner for your business, are they doing this with you? Or is it just are they just giving you your financials on a monthly basis if they do that, right? Are they sitting down and actually strategizing with you and saying, how can we make you more money? Or how can you minimize your expenses so that you can make that salary that you want, right? There's some things to think about when it comes to running a business. Now, another thing, we were talking about credit a little bit ago, that I want to touch in. Running a business successfully has a lot to do with your credit, right? On the personal side, if you have terrible credit, chances are, on the business side, you'll have terrible credit, right? Because it's a mindset game. You're already in that mindset where you're not managing your money properly, right? You have to understand, where do I stand personally, right? How do I need to fix myself personally so I can make my business successful? And just to give you an idea, this is a little bit of how a personal credit score compares to a business credit score. All right, so personal score is impacted by inquiries and debt to income, just to name a few. A business is impacted by the amount of trade lines your business has and how old the accounts are, right? Debt to income doesn't play on business credit. Personal credit score ranges from 0 to 850. Business credit ranges from 0 to 100. They're changing things up though, so these numbers are going to change in the future. And business credit scores are public information. Personal credit scores are not, right? Business credit scores, people can get by going to the business credit bureaus, paying their fee and getting access to your business credit. Very easy. A lot of stuff to consider. Why do you need business credit? Right? You need good business credit because when you go see Brandy for a loan, right? This is gonna play in the decision-making process, in the approval process. So my presentation is more on mindset, because I want you guys to understand that there's a lot that goes into running a business, and credit plays a major role in it. Good business credit may help you qualify for small business loans or financing with more favorable terms and lower interest rates. And believe it or not, when you first start out, not only business credit is going to play a factor, but your personal credit is going to play a major factor in you being able to get access to funding. You can attest to that, right? And this is just reasons, really how you can start establishing your business credit. Everything that I'm talking about goes hand in hand with accounting and bookkeeping, because when you're, and consulting, right? When you're building your business, you're building it right, you're building that right foundation that's going to start establishing business credit for yourself, right? Because you have to register your business, you have to actually register your business, create your DUNS number. Who knows what a Dun & Bradstreet number is? You need it, especially for government funding. Actually, that's changing right now too, but you need this. You get accounts that report to your business credit bureau. Opening a business credit card, you're gonna go see Brandy when you open your business. If you have great credit, you might get a business credit card out of that, right? Pay your bills on time. I think that's the biggest factor that a lot of us have, is we've missed payments, right? And that's the biggest effect to your credit score, is missing payments. And also monitor your credit, pay attention to it. You wanna pay attention to it. Like I said, we're emailing this out so everybody can have access to this stuff. And then you can utilize business credit to get funding. So you get small business loans with no guarantee after you've been in business for a certain amount of time, and you've created that business history, you created that business profile, it gives you access to all of that. Your personal credit is soft pulled versus hard pulled on some business loans. That means you don't get a hard inquiry on your personal side. But the account appears on your business side. So it doesn't really affect your personal credit as much. You get more variety of options. You get better pricing and terms. Yeah, that's what we do. That's where we do businesses. I don't want to talk about that. Let me go back real quick. I want to go back, and then I'm going to be done, because I have a game to play. I'm going to put it on this screen, because now we're playing the game, right? See who was paying attention. I'm gonna ask 3 questions. All right, the first question is around financial mindset, right? And what are the 3 types of You opened your, you raised your hand first. The three types of
Saving, spending, and investing.
you get a hat. All right, the next question is around unique value. Who took notes around unique? What's your unique value? All right, what are the 5 steps around unique value?
Who is your ideal customer? How do you align with your target market? What is unique about your product or service? And what, make it clear and specific and test it out.
Amazing. And who? All right, last question. Who knows the formula for the cost of running a business? Who wrote that down?
Well, math is hard.
Now you're gonna win once. You got?
Cost of running your business equals non-reimbursable expenses plus salary divided by billable days.
You got it. That's amazing. That's amazing. So that just is, in a nutshell, why it's important to have a strong accounting partner on your side, because not only do they manage your books and create financial statements that you need to go sit down with Brandy, right? They make sure that your mindset is in the right direction to make your business grow and be successful. Thank you.
Sorry, I have a question.
Yes.
So at what point would you need